So there you have it. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Um, and so, yes, tonight we're going to be talking about re-entering the new world. So we're making that big step, those big leaps. And here in Connecticut, we'll begin the process of reopening on the 20th. So it's coming up in just a couple weeks here. So I feel honored to be in your homes tonight. I'm Dr. Angela McCann, and I'm the Executive Director of Learn and Heal. I'll be guiding you through some different exercises tonight, and acupressure and a meditation. And we'll be focusing on preparing ourselves to re-enter the new world. Before we begin, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Learn and Heal. It's our brand new 501c3 nonprofit, and it's dedicated to providing health maintenance education and personalized healthcare to the community, regardless of economic status. The goal of Learn and Heal is to teach people how they can achieve a healthy diet, a healthy exercise, and healthy lifestyle, along with gentle and effective natural medicine. Basically, health and preventative medicine education is too valuable to keep to ourselves. So we're bringing it to you naturally. We're donation funded, so Learn and Heal is gladly accepting donations for its kickoff campaign, and anything you could give would be graciously accepted. And as we are a 501c3, your donation is tax deductible. And you can donate through our website, via PayPal, and from the email that you originally received. So new for this week is Vitamins with a Mission. So it's up and running. If you go to our website, you can scroll to the bottom and you'll find a new shop and support button. So that will take you to our partner Wellevate, where you can purchase vitamins, and anything you purchase there will go, any profits will go toward mission-driven activities. So shop early and often. There's a couple vitamins that I do recommend, specifically for anybody who is having any apprehension about re-entering the new world. There's a GABA and L-theanine supplement that's great. It's a little pump, and you can use it anytime you're having that that sinking feeling, that anxiety sensation where you just need a quick couple pumps, and it can eliminate anxiety pretty quickly. Of course, everything will work differently for everyone. However, this is a very gentle thing, and I have not seen it interact with medications. I've actually seen it still benefit people who are taking medications. And so it has GABA and L-theanine in it. GABA is a calming neurotransmitter, and L-theanine is the calming portion of green tea without the caffeine. So it's all of the good stuff, all in one little pump. The other thing I really recommend right now is vitamin C. It's very easy, it's very gentle. We've all used it a million times, and it's safe. A little bit of vitamin C. The one that I recommend is a buffered vitamin C by Integrative Therapeutics, because you only need 2 caps of it, and you get the dose that has in the past prevented colds and flus. Of course, you know, I can't make any promises that it can help in COVID, but frankly, we have to at least try something. So now what you've all been waiting for. Tonight, if you've been having any apprehension about re-entering the new world, then you're in the right place. You know, maybe you've gotten comfortable with this new routine of being at home. I know for myself that I'm a bit happier here. And I know all too many small businesses that have been impacted. I have a friend who was personally spit on and yelled at for being Asian. And you know, I fact-checked the news recently, and it is true that that this virus is disproportionately affecting minorities. So there are many reasons why people are a little apprehensive about entering this new world. So instead of sitting in fear, let's move toward our power and our comfort, and let's find a more centered place. So we're going to start tonight by doing our Qigong, and then we'll go into After the Qigong, we'll go into our acupressure and then some meditation. So we're doing the meditation last tonight, where we usually do it first. And I just want to say that the reason being is this meditation is particularly calming. And I've had at least one patient tell me that they felt very sleepy at the end of it. So considering the time of night, I think that's the best way to be. So let's start with exercise. So you can stand up as you're willing and able. And I am wearing my fuzzy slippers again tonight. So that's the beauty of being in our homes. All right, so we are going to start with our tranquil standing position, where we have our feet about hips width apart, our knees are bent, and we're going to do a pelvic tuck. Okay, so once you're in that position, you're just going to gently swing your arms. One of the things that I forget to tell people often is your toes are supposed to be pointing forward. And I know you can't see my feet for whatever reason tonight. It just isn't happening in this video. But the little bend of those knees, a nice pelvic tuck, and swing your arms. So this is a heart calming position. If you need to do this in the right before bed, what's maybe even a little bit more calming is a variation of this. So you can keep swinging your arms as you're comfortable, but the variation of this is literally just putting your hands and your palms down and standing still and breathing into here. So if you need it for the sleep calming, you can always just press those palms down toward the ground and hold it for a minute or two. So this position it's a heart calmer. So of course, if any heat is in the heart, the theory is that any heat in the heart can cause that anxiety or stress. And so this cools off the heart and allows you to find that calm, peaceful place. And so from here, why don't we take it to the next position, which is our kidney position. So we're going to be trying to do this turn from our hip crease. And you can do this gently. You're just swinging your arms back around with a little gentle tap over the kidneys. If you're feeling any pain or pressure in your knees, just shake them out. And of course, you do this as you're willing and able. I didn't put up my little medical disclaimer tonight, but if you are here or you're watching later, remembering that this is intended for educational purposes, and it isn't intended to replace any of the advice of your own physician. All right, so I'm going to shake out my knees a little bit. So the one I want to do next, this might be a new one for you guys tonight. So what we're going to do is it's going to be a turning in and then an opening. So you're actually moving your chin down like you have a ball underneath your chin. And then you're opening up and allowing space in your chest. Inward and then opening space. Imagine your heart is shining up toward the sun. This helps a few channels. The lung channel, which we know from last week, is associated with grief. And the heart channel, which can be associated with anxiety and stress. All right, so let's bring it in. Now we're going to do some acupressure. You can always go back to those exercises whenever you need them. All right. So for those of you who are new here tonight, I'm going to show you these. And those of you who have done this before, now it should be becoming a little easier. You're going to fold your ear in half and find the point. And we're going to measure up on each side. So fold the ear in half and find the point where it comes to the tip of the ear. And just use it as a measuring spot. And find where those two fingers meet in the middle, right at the top of your head. I don't know if I can really get it very clearly there. But that spot right in the center of your head, when you find the right spot, it's usually pretty dull and achy. And if you give a nice massage into that spot, eventually it will become calmer. So that's our goal for tonight. We'll massage right into that spot. And this is the point of 100 treatments. Okay, so the idea of this one is to calm the mind. It's right on top of your brain. It's intending to calm your mind. And as you do the massage, do breathe into this spot. Any stress you're feeling, breathe into where you feel the stress or the tension. And that helps with releasing some of that stress and tension. Okay, so you see me moving the glasses down, so you probably have an idea where we're going next, and that's in between your eyebrows. So we're going to move from the ends of the eyebrows. We're actually going to go right into the center, and you can either massage this point or tap it. I really particularly like tapping this spot. And it's a little easier when the glasses aren't in the way. So if they're really bothering you, you can just take them right off. There's a technique that I promise at some point I will do a workshop on. It's called EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. And it involves tapping some of these acupuncture points and tapping along the acupuncture meridians. We're going to do another one of these points in a minute here. And it is a fabulous way of activating calm in any scenario. So this point is called yin tong. Yin is a calming energy. So think of yin as being the cooling property and yang being this open and warm and over hot property. So the yin property would be cooling, cooling off the heart, calming the body. All right. So the next spot I want you to go to is going to be here. So if you curve your shoulder over, and this isn't a great view, not perfect for seeing, but what you're going to feel is you're going to feel that you're underneath your collarbone in a hole. And you're actually going to pop over a rib into the next hole. Now, this is usually tender on most people into this spot. If you're not in the right spot, it's okay. All right, so here's the hole, and if you curve your shoulder over, you can land in that hole. And then if you pop down one rib, that's usually where it's a little bit more tender, and that is the lung point. Okay, so you can either rub into that spot or you could do the tapping. And again, and you could probably find it on the other side at the same time if you're feeling so brave. Okay, so you pop into the hole underneath your shoulder blade. Maybe that's not gonna help us. You pop into the hole there and pop down a rib, go down a rib, and that's the spot. And you can tap right there, right into that location. And it's a very calming spot. I think it's easier to go across. So breathing, just breathing. And if you're feeling apprehensive, anytime you feel apprehensive, you can actually just stop, breathe, and tap any of these spots. Yeah. This is a front point of the lung. And last week we talked about the lung, the emotion of the lung being grief. And so any griefs that you might be holding, mourning the loss of a business, mourning the loss of a family member, mourning the loss of our security in our country, any of these griefs that you might be holding, this isn't pretty normal for people to be experiencing this at this time. Oh. So just rubbing right into those spots. All right, so we're gonna move to another point on the wrist. So we're gonna go to the wrist crease here. And last week we did this. You just rub right across the top. Right across the top. All right, so we're getting 3 acupuncture points here. And tonight we're just gonna go right across all 3, because the point I really want to bring home for you is actually a different point tonight. So all 3 of these will help with anxiety, stress, grief. All 3 of these points are good for that. The heart protector, and the lung. Those are the 3 points that we're going over, or 3 channels. And these are 3 particular points on those channels that help with those things. All right, so let's go to the other wrist. Keep ourselves balanced. Oh. All right, so the next point we're going to find, this is a new point, and it's very easy to find. It's actually, not only does it help with stress, grief, anxiety, it also helps with seasickness. So if you've ever worn any of those seasickness bands, you know exactly where it is. So you use your fingertip to find that crease of your wrist, and where your knuckle is, that's where the point is. So you can kind of mark the spot with your thumb as a placeholder, and then move your hand down into the middle of your wrist. For some of you, let's see if I can make my tendons show up. I have I have a hole actually literally right where it is. So it's in between the 2 tendons. There's 2 big tendons here that insert into your wrist, these 2. So it's in between them, and it's well, basically that length down. Okay, so you find that point, you find here, mark it with your thumb, and you can slide right into that hole. So this also helps with acid reflux. I had a case once of a man who had just had stomach cancer surgery, and he had the hiccups, and the hiccups would not go away after surgery. They had used every drug they could think of. There was nothing that they could do for him. So his wife called me, and I told him to try acupressure at this point. In fact, his wife went out and got those C-bands and put these on, and within a half hour of using the C-bands, the hiccups went away. And prior to that, he had been hiccuping for like 5 hours. I have pretty great faith in this point, in the strength of this point. It does like a relay with your nervous system. So in that way, it actually also helps with arrhythmias. Um, so for heart issues like arrhythmias. Oh. All right, and let's find the point on the other side. That spot had stopped being tender. So that's how you know when you've, so here we go. We find the crease, you find your fingertip, mark it with your thumb, mark the spot with your thumb, and then let your fingertip fall into that hole. You can dig into that spot. You know you found it. First, each hand can be different. On this hand, particularly for me, I'm getting tingling that's going directly into my hand. If you're getting the tingling, you know you're really there. That means you're right over a nerve. So being in between those two tendons, you can usually feel that point. So, all right. After this point, we're going to go into our meditation for tonight. And this is going to be a little bit different meditation. I know I said that earlier, but it's one that I really like. And it's very calming. It's very relaxing and very resetting. So once that point starts being a little less tender, we're going to release it and move on to some meditation. So there's that. I guess before I leave this spot, I'll say that these 2 points, along with this one, is considered Buddha's triangle. And so for those of you with the big insomnias, these are the points. One, so the wrist crease and this one. And I've seen those do some mini miracles for some people. Okay, not for everybody, but for some. All right, so for the meditation part, I want you to really get comfortable. So if you need to sink into your chair, sit back, sink in. Most of this meditation is going to be with your eyes closed and just imagining. All right, so what you're going to do first is imagine taking a breath in. Well, you're going to take a breath in and imagine taking in the white light of the sun. And as you bring that white light in, I want you to imagine it filling up your chest, filling up your heart. As you breathe out, imagine it filling the whole area of your chest. Breathing in again. And as you breathe out, imagine it filling your whole abdomen with white light. You might even feel a tingle on your skin as you breathe into these places. If there's any particular area of your chest that's tighter, breathe into this area. If there's any area of your abdomen you're feeling tight or tense, breathe into there. Breathe there now. And then I want you to direct the white light. Breathe it in and breathe it out down your right arm. And imagine the light going out of your fingertips. Breathe it in again and breathe it out again down that right arm, and just let that right arm go completely limp. And this time with your breath, breathe it out and imagine it going down the left arm, right out the fingertips. Breathing in again, and then out the left arm, and letting that left arm just go limp. And then breathing into that right leg and out to the right toes. And let that left leg go completely limp. Now breathe that white light into the left leg and imagine the light going right out of those toes. And again through that left leg and just allow it to go completely limp. Now I want you to envision the light going into your brain. Envision it filling up your brain with pure white light. Any tension you have in your head, just release it. And this time, as you breathe out, imagine it going down your spinal cord, down your spinal column. And with this next breath, imagine that white light going out through every single one of your nerves until it gets to the surface of your skin. And sometimes you'll feel it tingle. And from this place of peace and calm, this is how I want us all to go into the new world. Kind and calm minds and hearts, feeling nourished and peaceful. Mm. And you can open your eyes. It's from here that I would love for everyone to be able to re-enter that world. Mm. And so I hope you have a wonderful night's sleep. And just know that I'll be thinking of each of you. And I hope that each of you, when you need this peace and this calm, that you're always able to come back to this place, always able to let that white light come through. And if you ever need to, you grab onto that white light and imagine it as unconditional love, absolute unconditional love, just washing over you. That's the way and the space as we enter this new world. That will transform it and make it a new place. So thanks for joining me. Shop early and often. Go to Vitamins with a Mission. It's on our website on Learn and Heal. And thanks again, everyone, for joining me tonight. I'll see you again next week. We'll be here again next Thursday. And I will let you know what the topic will be in an upcoming email. Thanks again, everybody. Good night.